Hi, good morning my dear students. Myself Kulandaraj, Accountancy Lecturer, SDC College, Bangarpet. Today we are moving on to the 7th problem in the 2-column cash book. Already we have did the 6 problems in the 2-column cash book. My dear friends, 2-column cash book is a type of cash book where we used to record 2 amount columns. That is, one is for the cash, the other one is for the bank. It is also called as bank column cash book or double column cash book or cash book with a bank and cash columns. So in this one special type of entry will be coming, that is contra entry. Contra entry is a type of transaction which affects both the sides of the double column cash book, like cash withdrawn for the office use, deposited the amount into the bank, or any opened a current account in the bank. So these are the transactions will be affecting in the contra entries. Now moving on to the 7th problem, under the page number 4.10 they are given the 7th problem. Prepare 2-column cash book of Messrs Unique Software Private Limited for the month of October 2016. We need to prepare for the month of October 2016 from the following transactions. Month, date, particulars, rupees is given. On October 1st, cash in hand 6050 is given. On 1st again, cash in bank 13,760. So this represents the debit balance. So this should be taken under the debit side in the double column cash book. Cash balance 6050 and 13,760 is the bank balance, as two balance brought down. Again, October 6th, the deposited into bank. I have highlighted this point, 2,250. What is this deposited into bank means? It is a contra entry which affects both the sides of the double column cash book. What is this deposited into bank? When we deposit, what happens? Our cash balance decreases. Automatically, one side what happens? Our bank balance increases. So, deposited into bank means one side cash balance decreases under the credit side. Again, bank balance increases under the debit side. This is treated as contra entry. October 10th, purchased goods for cash 5,750. What is this purchased goods for cash means? Our cash balance reduces, so it should be taken under the credit side. October 14th, cash sales deposited into bank on the same day 3,460. Cash sales has been made and deposited on the same day. So 3,460 is on sales, it is on receipt, so it increases our bank balance. Why means cash sales we are making and again it has been deposited on the same day, so it should be recorded on the bank balance under the debit side. October 19th, received check from Prema 4,440 is there. When we are receiving the check from Prema, we need to see whether we have deposited on the same day. If we are depositing on the same day, it should be treated as check. If you are not depositing on the same day, it should be treated as an cash till the depositing takes place. On October 19th, the received check from Prema, but we are not depositing on the same day, so it should be treated as cash balance itself 4,440. October 22nd, Prema's check deposited into bank. On October 22nd, Prema's check has been deposited into bank. Now what we have considered for the before transaction, October 19th, we have received a check from Prema, we have considered cash. Now what happens here also? The contra entry, cash balance decreases, bank balance increases for the October 22nd transaction. So October 26th, the pay trade expenses 250. This will be coming under which side? Credit side of the, that is payment side of the double column cash book. October 31st, bank charges 150. So bank charges is an expense, so that will be coming, it reduces our bank balance, it will be coming under the credit side. Now we can move for the first problem solution, my dear friends. See the solution of the double column cash book of the 7th problem. Now we can see one by one the transactions. Here, October 1st, cash in hand 6,050, cash in bank 13,760. So this means two balance brought down. On which date? 1st 10 2016, two balance brought down 6,050 cash balance, 13,760 is the bank balance. This is treated as the opening cash balance and opening bank balance on the opening date, which is the date here 1/10/2016. Two balance brought down, cash balance, opening balance 6,050, bank balance 13,760, my dear students. Moving on to the second point. On October 6th, the deposited into bank rupees 2,250. What we are depositing in the bank? Cash. So what happens? Our cash balance reduces. How much it reduces? 2250 it reduces. It is a contra entry. Why it is a contra entry? Because cash balance reduces, bank balance increases. 2250. So opposite for cash is nothing but by bank account. This cash balance moves to the bank on which day? 6/10/2016. Same, it affects under the debit side. What happens? Our bank balance increases. How much it increases under the debit side? 2250. In what way it is coming to the bank? To the cash account. Contra entry on which date? 6/10/2016, my dear students. Moving on to the next point, on October 10th, purchased goods for cash 5750. Purchased goods for cash means what happens? Our cash balance reduces on 10th October 2016 by purchases 5750. Moving on to the next point, October 14th, cash sales deposited into bank on the same day 3460. We are getting the cash sales only, but what we are making? We are depositing into the bank. When we are depositing into the bank, it should be treated as a bank balance increases. So automatically on that day directly on 14/10/2016 to sales account directly in the bank column 3460. My dear students, here cash sales only made, but we are depositing on the same date. So directly to sales account 3460 in which column? Bank column, because the deposit has been made on the same day. Again, October 19th, received check from Prema rupees 4440. We are receiving check from Prema. When we receive the check from Prema, we need to see whether it has been deposited on the same day. No, it has not deposited on the same day. So it is considered as what? Cash. So how much it has been received? 4440. So automatically what happens on 19/10/2016 to Prema's account? How much it is? Cash balance 4440. Why we are not considering directly bank columns? Because it is not deposited on the same day. Again, moving on to the next transaction, what happens? On October 22nd, Prema's check deposited into bank. Amount is not given. Why amount is not given? We know that we have received a check of how much? 4440. So this same check we are depositing into the bank. When we are depositing into the bank, what happens? Our cash balance reduces, our bank balance increases. So when our cash balance reduces on 22/10/2016 by bank account, what balance reduces here? Cash balance. How much? 4440. It is in contra entry. Again, what balance increases? Bank balance. How much it increases? 4440 to cash account. It is a contra entry on which date? 22/10/2016, my dear students. Moving on to the next question, next point, October 26th, the pay trade expenses 250. When we pay the trade expenses, what happens? Our cash balance, it reduces. 26/10/2016 by trade expenses 250 cash has been reduced. Again, what happens? October 31st, the bank charges 150. So bank charges has been given. What happens? Our bank balance reduces. So automatically what happens? By bank charge on 31/10/2016, 150 in the bank column. Now what you need to do? Total it on both the sides. So now you total it under the cash column, debit side as well as the credit side. Now I think a debit balance is more. How much is the debit balance? 10,490. The same balance to the credit side also, cash column 10,490 minus 2,250 minus 5,750 minus 4,440 minus 250. We'll be getting remaining closing balance how much? 2,200, my dear students. Again, moving on to the next bank column, total it on both the sides. We'll be getting overall total is 23,910. 23,910 you will be getting. In this 23,910, same total, which is the highest total, 23,910. Take it on the credit side also, 23,910 minus this 150. You will be getting how much? 23,760. So the same closing balance will become here as an opening balance on which month? On 1/11/2016. On 1st of November 2016 to balance brought down 2,200 and 23,910, my dear students. In the answer, in the solution part, some printing error has been happened for that answers. So it is close. Opening balance of the next month is will be how much? 2,200 and 23,009. That is of 760, my dear students. 23,000. It is of 760, my dear students. After the balance, we will be getting 23,760, my dear students. This is the closing balance. The same closing balance will become the opening balance for the next month, that is of 1st November 2016, my dear students. Now we can move for the 8th question. See here, the double column cash book is very important for the 12 mark section, my dear students. So please concentrate on these questions. So make the notes on these questions. You can see this problem, you can pause it and you can pause the video and you can write it. Moving on to the 8th question. Moving on to the 8th question. See here, record the following transactions of Mrs. Surya and Arya in a double column cash book for March 2017 is given. March 1st opening cash balance 25,000, March 1st opening bank balance 31,000 is given. So both are debit balance, it should be taken under the debit side as to balance brought down. Again, March 4th received check from Suresh and deposited into bank. On the same day we are depositing the check into the bank, so it should be considered as a bank balance. Bank balance increases, so that should be taken under which side? Debit side to Suresh account, because bank balances increases. In the last case, in the last problem, we find the same point, but deposit is not made on the same day, so only we are considering that point as a cash transaction. But here the check has been received, deposited into the same day, so it should be treated as what? A credit, that is a debit balance, that is it increases the bank balance. Directly you can consider 15,000 in the bank column. March 12 sold goods Anand for cash 7,500. When we are selling the goods, our cash balance increases, so that should be taken under the debit side. March 15th drew cash from office for household expenses. How much? 2,500. When we drew the cash from office, what happens? Our cash balance reduces. When our cash balance reduces, it decreases what balance? The cash balance. So it is a drawings, so that should be taken under the credit side. Again, March 18, Suresh check returned dishonored. How much it is dishonored? Here it is nil. Again, Suresh check returned dishonored, amount is nil given. Why means already we know that Suresh we have received a check from Suresh. How much it has been? 15,000. So that 15,000 we are considering here. So Suresh check returned dishonored means what happens? On the day of March 4th we received a check. That check of rupees 15,000 we have received and we have deposited into the bank. On March 18th, no, that check has been dishonored. Dishonored means there is no amount in that bank balance. So automatically what happens? It reduces our what balance? Bank balance. So 15,000 has been reduced. It should be shown under which side? Credit side. March 21st paid for carriage 1,200. How much we are paying? 1,200. This should be shown under the credit side. March 27th bought computer and issued check. When we are issued check, what happens? For purchase of computer, our cash bank balance reduces, so it should be taken under the credit side. March 31st paid electric bill 1,800. When we pay the electric bill, our cash balance reduces, so it should be taken under the credit side, my dear students. Moving on to the solution of the double column cash book. Now we can see one by one. What is the thing given here? March 1st opening cash balance 25,000, opening balance 31,000 as it is on March 1st 2017. To balance brought down, cash balance 25,000, bank balance 31,000, my dear students. On March 4th received check from Suresh and deposited into bank 15,000. Directly we are taking as a bank transaction. Why means we are depositing on the same day. On 4th March 2017 to Suresh account directly in the bank column. How much we are considering? 15,000. Next what they given? March 12th sold goods Anand for cash 7,500. We are selling the goods for Anand for what? Cash. So we require only the cash transactions here. So automatically it increases our cash balance on 12th March 2017 to sales account, because our cash balance increases how much? 7,500. Again, next thing what is given on March 15th, drew cash from office for household expenses. We are withdrawn the cash here. When we withdraw the cash, what happens? Our cash balance reduces. It is treated as drawings. It should be taken under which side? Credit side. So on 15/3/2017 by drawings account 2,500 cash we have withdrawn from the bank. Next point what is given here? March 18, Suresh check returned dishonored. Dishonored means what happens? The check what we received 15,000, no, there is no amount in their Suresh bank account. So automatically our check has been dishonored, cancelled. So we need to dishonor means it reduces our bank balance, so it should be taken under the credit side. On 18/3/2017 by Suresh account, this is dishonored. In the bank balance, how much it reduces? 15,000. And this is the new adjustment, my dear friends. We are receiving the check on the same day we have deposited. So again what happens? The check has been returned as dishonored. There is no amount in the Suresh account. So automatically what happens? Our bank balance reduces. So it should be taken under the credit side, my dear students. On March 21st, paid for carriage 1,200. When we pay for the carriage, what happens? Our cash balance reduces. So it should be taken under the credit side. 21st/3/2017 by carriage account 1,200. Next, March 27th, bought computer and issued check 18,000. When we purchase the computer, what happens? Our that is issued through check. What happens here? When we are purchasing the computer, when we are buying through the check means our bank balance decreases. How much it decreases? 18,000. On 27/3/2017 by computer, 18,000 decreases, my dear students. On March 31st, what is given? Paid electric bill 1,800. When we pay the electric bill, what happens? It decreases the cash balance. So on March 31st, 2017, by balance carried out, electric, that is by electric bill, March 31st, March 2017, by electric bill 1,800 has been decreased. So now what is your work? Means all the transactions has been completed, my dear students. Now close it on both the sides. Again in this problem there is no any contra entry. Only new adjustment of dishonoring of check is there. That's it, 15,000. We have received the check and deposited on the same day. So we have taken directly in the bank column. And again that check has been dishonored. There is no amount in the Suresh balance. So automatically our bank balance reduces on 18/3/2017. Now total it on both the sides of the debit as well as credit side of the cash column. Which side is more? Debit side, cash column is more. That is how much is there? 32,500. The same total to the credit side, 32,500 minus 32,500 minus 2,500 minus 1,200 minus 1,800. You will be getting 27,000 as the balance. How much is the closing balance? You will be getting 27,000. Next, as it is bank column, you total it. So how much you will be getting? Debit side total is more. How much is the debit side total? 46,000. The same total to the credit side also, how much it is? 46,000. 46,000 minus 15,000 minus 18,000, you will be getting how much? 13,000. So this closing balance will become the next month's opening balance. On which date? 1/4/2017. To balance brought down opening balance, how much it becomes? 27,000 and 13,000 will be the opening balance of the next month. So this is opening balance. How much we have? 27,000 and 13,000, my dear students. Very easiest problems, my dear students. You can get 12 marks easily. Now pause the video and you can write this solution, my dear students. Moving on to the next problem, that is the 9th problem. Prepare double column cash book from the following transaction and balance the same has been given. So in this month, date, particulars rupees is given. 2016 November 1st, balance of cash in hand 15,000, cash at bank 1,20,000. This is an debit balance that should be taken under the debit side. To balance brought down, how much? Cash balance 15,000, bank balance 1,20,000. Again, November 3rd, received cash from Ramesh 20,000. When we received cash from Ramesh means our cash balance increases. So it should be taken under the debit side. On November 8th, paid to Suresh by check 18,000. When we pay to Suresh by check means what happens? Our bank balance reduces. It should be taken under which side? Credit side. On November 14th, drew for office use 10,000 is given. When we drew for office use means what happens? Our bank balance reduces, our cash balance increases. So this is the contra entry highlighted point. November 14th, drew for office use, how much is given? 10,000. When we withdraw for the office use, our bank balance reduces, our cash balance increases. November 19th, goods withdrawn from business for personal use 5,000. Here we are not withdrawing the cash, we are not withdrawing through check, that is through the bank, we are withdrawing the goods. So when we are withdrawing from the goods, so this point is not considered in this question. Why we are not considering this point, this transaction means because we are not withdrawing the cash, we are not withdrawing the check or that is check through bank balance, we are withdrawing the goods. When we withdraw the goods worth rupees 5,000, I can notice here worth rupees 5,000, but we can't consider. Only cash transactions can be recorded in the which book? In the book of double column cash book. See here, goods withdrawn is given. So here cash withdrawn means we can consider as drawings. Now also it is drawings, but it is related with the goods. It is not related with the cash here, my dear students. So ignore this amount of rupees 5,000, my dear students. November 22nd, paid rent to landlord 6,000. When we are paying rent, our cash balance decreases. It should be taken under the credit side. November 26th, cash sales 17,000. When we make the cash sales, what happens? Our cash balance increases, so it should be recorded under the debit side. November 30th, paid salaries to staff 12,000. When we pay the salaries to staff, what happens? Our cash balance reduces. It should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. Now moving on to the solution, my dear students. Now you can move for the first point here on first transaction 2016 November 1st. Balance of cash in hand 15,000. Cash at bank 1,20,000. So that means what happens here? So on 1/11/2016 to balance brought down 15,000 cash balance. Bank balance how much is there? 1,20,000, my dear students. It is a opening balance, debit balance. November 3rd, received cash from Ramesh. How much is there? 20,000. So 20,000 we are receiving the cash from Ramesh. So on 3rd November 2016 to Ramesh account 20,000 cash we are receiving. Bank column it is nil because we are receiving the cash. So next transaction, what happens here? November 8, paid to Suresh by check 18,000. When we pay through check means what happens? Our bank balance reduces. How much it reduces? 18,000. On 8/11/2016 by Suresh account, how much it reduces bank balance? 18,000, my dear students. Next point, what is given? On November 14th, drew for office use 10,000. When we withdraw for office use from the bank means what happens? Our cash balance, our bank balance decreases, our cash balance increases. So on which date it has been given? On November 14th. We can notice here on 14th November 2016 what balance is decreasing? 10,000. This is a contra entry which affects on the both the sides of the double column cash book. When we withdraw cash from bank, our bank balance decreases. How much is decreases? 10,000. In the opposite side by cash account, that is contra entry. Again what happens? What balance increases when we utilize that amount for office means cash balance increases. How much it increases? 10,000. In the cash column 10,000. Opposite you write it as to bank account. This is a contra entry 14/11/2016, my dear students. And moving on to the next point, November 19th, goods withdrawn from business for personal use. So this transaction will not affect in the cash book because we are not withdrawing cash. Listen here, we are not withdrawing cash or we are not withdrawing through check through the bank. So it is goods withdrawn. Ignore this point of 5,000. Only it will appear in the stock books. So again next point what they given, November 22nd, paid rent to landlord rupees 6,000 is given. When we pay the rent, what happens? Our cash balance reduces. On 22nd 11/2016 by rent account, how much we have considered? 6,000, my dear students. And again November 26th, cash sales 17,000 is given. So cash sales means what happens? It increases our what balance? Cash balance. So it should be taken under which side? Under the debit side. On 26/11/2016, that is 26th November 2016 to sales account, how much cash balance increases? 17,000, my dear students. Next point, on November 30th, paid salaries to staff 12,000. When we pay the salaries to staff, what happens? Our cash balance decreases, so it should be taken under which side? Under the credit side. On 30th 11/2016 by salaries account 12,000 nil. The next balance is nil, so there is no any other transaction. Now listen here, total it on both the sides. First you total under the cash column under both the sides. Now check it which side total is more. 62,000, that is cash column under the debit side is more. Take the highest total to the credit side also. How much is there? 62,000. In this 62,000 minus 6,000 minus 12,000, you will be getting how much? 44,000. This is the closing cash balance. Now total it on the bank column on both the sides. Which side is more? 1,20,000. Debit side is more. The same total to the credit side also 1,20,000. Minus 18,000 minus 10,000, you will be getting remaining closing balance as 92,000. This 92,000 will become closing balance. So by balance carried on 30th 11/2016 will become the closing balance. How much is the closing balance? 44,000 and 92,000. that should be brought down to the next month on which date 1/12/2016 to balance brought down. Next month's opening balance, the similar total here 40, that is similar balance what we got 44,000 and 92,000 bank balance, my dear students. In the next class we can see the next related problems, that is still we have some 6 problems, so we can see that remaining problems in the next classes. So until it's bye from Kulandaraj, accountancy lecturer, SDC College, Bangarpet. Thank you, my dear students.